Today on Husky News Network, a mentorship program motivating girls to become powerful women.
Was something I never expected, and it's so much bigger and better than anything I could have ever dreamed for.
Northeastern University's police department is providing self-defense classes.
To get yourself away from that individual to free yourself.
And how professors are prepping student journalists to deal with harassment.
But it is a reality that many of us face in doing our job.
A special report from Husky News starts now. Hello and welcome to the Husky News Network. I'm Alana Gersten.
And I'm Josie Solomon. This special edition of Husky News is dedicated to empowering women.
And one Northeastern organization is pushing that message. Northeastern is home to the largest chapter of a club focused on helping young girls in the community.
Members of the club also spend a lot of time building strong connections with each other. Here's Claire McCourt with more on the mission of Strong Women, Strong Girls.
An after-school mentorship program at Northeastern motivates girls to become powerful women. Strong Women, Strong Girls, or SWIDGE, was founded at Harvard University over 20 years ago with the goal of supporting young girls in underserved communities. Northeastern's chapter has more than 50 members who volunteer with 3rd through 5th grade students in locations like Roxbury and Mission Hill. The mentors in SWIDGE help these girls build social skills like self-confidence and trust. And most times, the girls even teach the mentors a few life lessons.
It's cycles of mutual empowerment. We empower the mentees, and the mentees in turn empower us. And then as a community, we empower each other.
While the group's service spans across the Boston area, they also find community here on campus. The club's leadership works on team-building events, from movie nights to group outings. They welcome students who are looking for both service and sisterhood.
I can go to anyone in this club and I know that they would do anything for me, and it's probably one of the only places I've felt that in my life has been this organization.
The club's chapter directors believe SWIDGE fosters a strong community for people from all backgrounds.
When I first joined as like a little freshman, I was just looking for community service. This whole community that I've gotten in return was something I never expected, and it's so much bigger and better than anything I could have ever dreamed for.
The group meets weekly to exchange ideas, plan events, and hone their leadership skills.
So we always pitch it as, if you want to work with youth and be in a mentoring position, this is the space for you. But if you're also looking for a community at SWIDGE that's safe and open and incredibly diverse and just rich with really cool people, we're completely biased, but it's the truth, then this is also could be the place for you too.
And this month, Strong Women, Strong Girls is stepping outside of the schoolyard. The club is hosting a statewide conference where people can hear from community leaders and engage in discussion about activism and social awareness. Reporting for Husky News Network, I'm Clara McCool.
Northeastern's feminism-related programs and resource center were active in Women's History Month, hoping to help different groups get help and guidance through thematic symposiums and speeches. The 9th annual WGSS Symposium is hosted by the Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies program. It featured Liz Winstead, the founder of Abortion Access Front and co-creator of The Daily Show, for its opening plenary. This event included new ecofeminism perspectives on climate and political crisis, hoping to encourage the audience to develop views on hot political issues, such as legalization of abortion and minority identification, through presentations and face-to-face communication.
This year we're raising questions around the climate crisis and gender, reproductive justice, abortion access, and censorship of progressive and feminist speech. What we're trying to do with this event is really give a feminist lens through which all of our audience, which includes students, faculty, the community at large, from Northeastern but also from around Boston, to give them a feminist lens through which to view these topics. So definitely the Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies program, or WGSS. We are happy to guide anyone. We have a bunch of classes that are giving information on all of this stuff. And there's also the LGBTQIA+ Resource Center in Curry, and there is also the Social Justice Resource Center that I would recommend people check out.
Topics such as sexual censorship and harassment and global rights have been mentioned in previous years of the symposium. Samco says she hopes they can bring a richer variety of feminist topics to the Northeastern University community through this annual event. That way, more people can learn about the world through the lens of feminism.
Northeastern's police department is working to keep students safe. It comes after several high-profile cases of violence against students across the country. including the murder of 4 college students in Idaho. Northeastern Police Office basic advanced self-defense classes every semester. Northeastern officer Doug Common is one of the instructors. He says it's important for the students to be aware of their surroundings and trust their instincts in potentially unsafe situations.
Fight like your life depends on it. Use the skills and tools that we teach you in these classes. If you're using your voice, you're using your punches that we teach you, using your kicks, your knee strikes, all those things to get yourself away from that individual to free yourself.
Safety resources provided by NUPD include pepper spray self-defense, situational awareness, and active threat classes. Common says these trainings can prepare students to escape danger both on and off campus. Alana has more on what resources NUPD provides to students.
Thanks, Josie. The NUPD has identified several tools students can use if they are feeling unsafe on campus. They want to remind students that there are blue light phones across campus. There, students will be immediately connected to a dispatcher. NUPD also highlights the Safe Zone app, which they say uses a GPS to provide peace of mind. The app can be used for check-ins or for emergencies. And for students not on the Boston campus, there's the Travel Support Network, which helps students mitigate any potential risks or dangers while they're away from Boston. Keep watching. We have more news for you after the break.
Coming up on Husky News, Northeastern entrepreneurs contributing to the market of sustainable beauty.
I wanted to create a brand that essentially kind of fulfilled all my values.
A student bringing back her baking business.
Baking is a way for me to release my stress and also connect with other people.
A recent report on harassment student journalists face.
But it is a reality that many of us face in doing our job.
Stay tuned.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles through the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries.
The support that Smile Train has given us has been a milestone in the way we treat patients.
Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of more than 1.5 million children. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Welcome back to Husky News Network. I'm Alana Gersten.
And I'm Josie Solomon. Sustainable beauty products are leading a new trend in the beauty industry.
Our reporter Jane Jung caught up with the founder of Colin Beauty to get more information about the production and promotion of sustainable beauty products.
Northeastern Marketing and Entrepreneurship students Michelle Burdett founded Colin Beauty in 2021. Colin Beauty insists on producing and promoting sustainable beauty products by changing traditional plastic packaging as well as product ingredients to make the beauty industry not toxic and no waste sustainable.
Sort of a gap in the market between natural products and also like sustainable products. So while some natural beauty products were sustainable, most of them were still packaged in plastic and there was very little like zero waste options on the market. So I wanted to create a brand that essentially kind of fulfilled all my values.
Professor Matthew Ackman in NU Research, Civil and Environmental Engineering program has worked as a consultant to the beauty industry for many years.
Yeah, so I would say the companies I work with in the beauty industry, they are all trying to make products that are green, have some kind of environmental attributes, and in making a sustainable beauty industry, some of it is the packaging, but some of it is also how you make the actual product. A lot of these cosmetic ingredients, they come from farmers, even in ecologically sensitive areas, and we want to make sure that those supply chains are fair and that they are respectful of where the setting that they're in politically. So taking this, what we call a life cycle perspective, not just looking at packaging, but looking at manufacturing and also supply chain, that's how you green the whole industry.
To achieve eco-friendly and sustainable fashion industry, the first thing that comes into mind is to change product packaging. As a fashion marketing major student in Savannah College of Art and Design, Vicky Tan has working on her project to creating the sustainable campaign for the fashion beauty brand.
Sometimes you and your competitors, maybe you have the similar product, but her one is more sustainable. So why people not choose that? So that is kind of the new direction for all the brands, I think. For me, I'm not really just buying the sustainability products, but if the product have the similar kind of way to use, I would choose the sustainable one.
Industry features determine the direct interaction between beauty products and the market as well as the environment. The whole industry cycles to achieve green and sustainable will become the new guide for future competition. Jen for Husky News.
Northeastern students are encouraged to practice business and entrepreneurship on and off campus. Romy Schwartz is a first-year student at Northeastern, juggling a full class schedule while also planning to reopen her baking business. Schwartz opened her company, Baked by Romy, in 2020. She has made more than $30,000 in sales while selling her cookies out of her house in Philadelphia. After closing for a few months while settling into school, she's decided to reopen on campus with the kitchen in her apartment.
I started my business because I have always loved to bake, and I would always bring my friends stuff at school, and then they told me to start selling them. My main marketing strategy is Instagram, and I find that posting consistently keeps followers engaged, as well as giving cookies to food bloggers who post them, and that really expanded my customer base. I've decided to sell cookies again on campus because baking is a way for me to release my stress and also connect with other people. It's important for young women to start businesses because in the past, women weren't always given equal opportunities, and it gives them a way to learn.
A big part of digital marketing is a company's branding. Baked by Romy is a great example of how, with the help of social media, young entrepreneurs are able to easily promote their business.
For our final story today, we're taking a look at issues student journalists face. Pursuing a career in journalism means the possibility of dealing with harassment from sources, civilians, and the media. Colleges can implement programs and resources for journalism students to help prepare them for their future careers in the field. Meg Heckman is an assistant professor of journalism at Northeastern University. Recently, she conducted a study on the harassment that journalists face and concluded that student journalists are not immune to these dangers.
My name's Meg Heckman, and I'm an assistant professor of journalism. Harassment targeting journalists does happen. It's unfortunate, but it is a reality that many of us face in doing our jobs. I want to equip them to deal with all of the challenges that they're going to face. Being a journalist isn't always easy, and it isn't always safe, but it's really important, and it's absolutely crucial to a functioning society to have a free, open, and strong press.
Professors hope that by normalizing discussions around on-the-job harassment, students will be better prepared for challenging moments that journalists face. Joining us today is Professor Jody Santos, who worked with Meg Heckman on the study. Welcome, Jody.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit about which students are most targeted by this harassment?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, what we found with our study is that student journalists of color are more susceptible to certain types of harassment than their white peers. So black student journalists, for instance, are more vulnerable to sexual and physical violence, while Asian student journalists are more vulnerable actually to academic and professional retaliation. This is bad for the news industry. At a time when we know the news industry needs to become more diverse, unfortunately, journalists of color are really being deterred because of the levels of harassment.
Okay, and for our last question, can you just briefly tell me what students can do to deal with the harassment they face?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first thing is that you need to go to a trusted faculty member and let them know what's going on. That's the most important thing.
Okay, well, thank you, Jody. That's all the news we have for today.
From all of us here at Husky News Network, thanks for watching and see you next time.